The situational judgment test is designed to assess applicants' judgment on some work context and scenario, and the scenario is usually based on the job analysis. By having the information from the job analysis, they set out certain scenario and to see how the candidates will respond to certain situations. This is one of the examples of situational judgment test. The candidate will be asked to respond and to take what actions if they are in this scenario. The scenario is you are a department manager and you have recently thought of a new procedures that you believe would improve the work progress. Some of the employees in your department agree with the change, but some do not. One of your employees openly criticized the ideas to your director. There are a few options that you can choose. Option A, you decide not to respond to criticize in order to avoid unnecessary conflict, or you punish the employees for going over your head to the director and work to promote your idea. And C, you meet the employees for a talk and explain that bypassing your authority is unacceptable. Or D, an employee's trust in their manager is important, so you decide to implement only some of the changes to keep my employees satisfied. Which options do you choose and why are you doing that? Probably, maybe the best answer could be you meet the employees for a talk to explain that by passing your authority as unacceptable. So you have to let the employees notice that and what you should do and why you should do, and probably you have to meet with them to have a talk. And this may be an acceptable answer in the test. The situational judgment test, it seems quite highly correlated to the big five traits. And it's also tend to be well received by the applicants because getting more and more companies are using the situational judgment test. Our criteria, reliability, it seems quite varied, but look quite good relatively. Fertilities, it is quite high because especially if you can choose those scenario which is highly relevant to the job environment itself. Fairness is also quite good because we're talking about the employees, the candidates, and how they are going to deal with certain situation. And so, well, they're taking into consideration in a very fair manner in judging and also in evaluating the candidates' actions. Work samples. In some of the work contexts, you may also ask the candidates to do a simplified version of the job, and so it is a kind of the test to see whether they are capable in doing the job or not. It does not mean to analyze, but will try to see whether they can do the job well. This is also one of the most valid job method, the selection method, especially when it also combined with other tests. For example, like the chef in the restaurant, because you may not know whether the skills of the chef is relevant or capable in doing the job. So you can ask the candidates to do some dishes for you and to try their skills and techniques in doing different dishes. Again, the criteria, reliability, we do not have much details and information about it. And for the validity, it seems quite high because as long as you set out the work samples, very relevant to the work context, the job context, and then, it seems that the validity could be quite high. The fairness, it thought to be good because the candidates will have the chance to work on the similar or the same work sample, so to maintain the high level of fairness in the test. Biodata, And well, it is more scientific than just application form because well, it uses the information such as the qualification, job history, stability of the residents to create some formula to predict the success of the candidates. However, does the life we need will predict the types of the person we are? Can the biodata can help you to predict the performance, the future performance and behavior of the candidate? This is the sample form given to the candidates to fill in. By collecting their biodata, the company can use the data to do the prediction and analysis of the relevancy of the employees, of the candidates, and see whether they can fill into the certain positions. Basically, the biodata can be differentiated into two major types. The first one is the hard question that can be easily verified, such as education, degree, year of work, type of salary, professional membership, and also the home address. For the soft questions, it is usually very difficult and cannot be verified, such as some favorite subject, the types of the newspaper read, and also hobby, etc. The biodata can be useful, and it must be used with caution, however. Can it be generalizable? It seems not really. The reliability of using the biodata is very unsure because we don't know how consistency it would be. The validity, it might be good, but not the best because it all depends on how you interpret the data and well, how does it relevant and link with the certain positions. Fairness is also very controversial because, well, to what extent that we don't know how much confidence that we can believe it can be without any bias. Assessment center. Remember that although it is called center, it is not a tangible place. A term used to denote use of multiple assessment and methods on an individual and being observed by an assessor. And so it is an ongoing process. It's not really a tangible place instead. This is one of the example. From November to February, probably it is the opening for the online application and some to do some online tests. And then for the February and March, well, the candidates need to have and go through the assessment days. And after the summer, and maybe they have to do some evaluation, preparation, etc. And finally in September, and well, the scheme really started. And here is one of the timeline for the detail of this assessment center for the typical graduate scheme candidate. From the earlier time, September to January or February, this is the application open day. And then for February is the closed screening and filtering stages. March, and we're having the assessment and also the offer. May, and probably will have some possible reopen top up. And July, we will do some review. And August, graduation starts, and so well, they can enter into the job market and well, to perform the job position. In assessment center, applicants invited to complete assessment together over a day or two. It can be a combination of the tests, for such as their work sample with some interview or some tests, etc. This is very tricky to design. It can be very complex, and also a series of the tasks can be given to the candidates. And this is one of the examples that we can see. In the earlier time on a day, and with the welcome section, the introduction section, and then we got the competency-based interview, followed by the small break, and we'll also have the analyzed presentation exercise. After lunch, we'll have the role play exercise, and finally we'll got some in-tray exercise. So you can see this is a series of the assessment. As I said that this is quite tricky to evaluate because it all depends on how it is designed. But we believe that both the validity and also the reliability could be quite high if they are well designed. And it seems quite also very fair procedures in selecting the candidates. So far, we covered different parts of the selection process, including like the job analysis, the job description and person's specification, and we also discussed about different assessment method. But the next step is, how should we attract the candidates to apply for the job? How do we let people know we are advertising for a job? Indeed, we can use both the procedures of internal versus external hiring. Internal probably is cheaper, quicker, but it seems less variety. The diversity will be reduced because we are having the internal recruitment. For the external one, it sounds more expensive, it's taking more time, and it's even riskier because you never know whether you can really recruiting someone who fit with the organizational value and culture or not. There are several different forms for advertising and attracting candidates. It includes recently is very common one using the online agency, and we'll have some online job posting, or for a very higher senior management position, the company may also hire the headhunters to help in to search for the right candidate, the potential candidates. The last process of the selection includes the applicant's reaction. We have to understand the applicant's reaction because remember that selection is a two-way street. And what do the candidates feel if there are too many tests or too few tests? We also need to consider it because for the further improvement of the selection process. Participants should always be briefed after application process, and regardless of the result, it might be a developmental purpose to give them the ideas and how well or how bad that will they perform, so that to help them to develop themselves. In summary, it is important for organizations to develop a good selection process to find the best candidates. Sometimes we may not necessarily to hire the best candidates. Instead of, we just need to find the the right candidate to fill the positions. Job analysis and person specification help to create good selection methods, and especially it is also important for future performance appraisal as well. So many selection measures. So which one should we choose? We have to choose the most relevant and suitable one, of course. And we also need to keep in mind that the applicants and their reaction, because always remember that their reaction will also become word of mouth to say that whether this is a good company or not to other future potential candidates. Last but not least, I would like to thank you all of you. If you have any questions, please let me know. I hope you have fun in this section. Thank you. Bye-bye.